Welcome back, everybody, to the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a few minutes here to drill down and learn something and improve your poker game. I have pocket twos, ducks, lowest pocket pair. Just a quick thing about pocket pairs. You're only going to hit a set 1 out of 8 times on a flop. So that's not a lot. So really you can't prepare and expect to hit that at any time. Let's see how this hand plays out. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000. I have 65,000 chips, which is about 32 big blinds. I'm not going to get too deep into thinking about what could happen or what couldn't happen until the action's on me. You know, if there's a simple raise in front of me, then I'll play it from there. So you can see that we do have a raise here from the under the gun +2, what we call it, to 4,000. The cutoff +2 folds, and the action is on me in the cutoff +1. Now the raise is to 4,000. He has 76,000 chips, which is a medium to large size stack, and I have 65,000 chips. So I can use a poker model rule here. If I have over 20 big blinds and I have any pocket pair 2 through queen, I'm going to make a call behind, and I'm going to see and hopefully get to the flop and see if I can play it from there. Now in this hand, I'll have position depending on what happens behind me, which is always a good thing because I get to see what my opponent does first before I have to make any type of move. So I'll make the call for 4,000. Very aware that now I have about 30 big blinds left after I make that call. All the other players in the hand fold, and the action is on my opponent to the flop. The flop is the ace of spades, 3 of hearts, 4 of diamonds. So let's see what my opponent does first, because really when you're playing a lot of tables, you can get ahead of the hand if you want. You can say, hey, if he checks, I'll do this. If he bets, I'll do that. But really, you can kind of get that information first before expending too much energy on it. So I already know now that he checked, so now I can play my hand, and whatever I decide is what I'll actually do. It won't be kind of a hypothetical thing anymore. So like always, my first step on the flop is to qualify my hand. Good, bad, mediocre. You can see that I have third pair or worse because I have the pocket twos, and I also have an inside straight draw, which is not an open-ended straight draw, not a flush draw. So both of those hands are bad in our world. And so with bad hands, we're going to bet to try to win the pot right now. If my opponent had made a continuation bet, then I would just be folding here. I know I could hit a draw. I know there's some things that may or may not help my hand. But really, it's just not that great of a spot for me, especially with my chip stack. But when my opponent checks and passes on his opportunity to make a continuation bet, I can take over the hand and make a bet here with my bad hand to try to win the pot right now. So remember, I have 61,000 chips. I bet about 4,500, and the action moves back to my opponent here. I'm hoping he folds. Let's see what happens. My opponent makes some weird raise to 9,999. Now remember, the purpose of my bet was to make him fold. If there was any type of raise, I already knew that I would be folding. So I'm not in some tough place here where I don't know what to do. I already knew that I'd make my bet, I'd fold to a raise, and I'd keep my stack above 20 big blinds. So unfortunately, I have to fold my hand, and I'm not going to win this one. But all of my criteria were met, and in a lot of situations like this, I'll get a fold from my opponent and I'll win this pot. So again, thanks for checking in today. For a couple minutes, we just want you to kind of get a lot of reps, learn something, ask us questions, and again, we thank you for checking out the Poker Model Breakdown. Have a great day.